There we go. Gotta have the proper mood lighting. Anyways. What's going on, guys? This is Dig Films coming at you with another episode of Conan Exiles. I realized in my weapons video I didn't go over the projectile weapon, so I'm going to include that in this video as well as the armor of the game as it currently stands with this update and since this video was posted. So right now we're going to start with the armor real quick, and what I'm wearing now is the very basic armor that you can make at the very beginning of the game. You have to go and gather a few things to gain a few levels first before you can learn it, but actually no, scratch that. You already know how to make this from the get-go. Anyways, so you can craft this. I went ahead and dyed mine. I have a video. If you go this corner, right, can't follow it, right up here, there's a little eye. Click on that. That should have a card or a link to that video that talks about the dye system. But yeah, so this is the very basic armor, fiber armor, plant fibers that you can get. So like you can get those from the cactus down there. You can see the bushes somewhere down there, and stuff like that. One moment. There we go. Gotta have the proper mood lighting. Anyways, so that's the very basic stuff. The properties on that is a armor value of 4, knockback defense of 3, and then 1 and 1. Armor value of 3, knockback defense of 2, and 1 and 1. So the next level up is the light armor. I didn't dye this one because I didn't want to take the time, but yeah, so that's what the light armor looks like. It's not bad. It's pretty cool looking. And then the armor values on that is 5, 2 for the helmet, 8 and 3 for the chest piece, 2 and 1 for the hand wraps, 6 and 2 for the skirt, kilt, whatever. And the boots are 2 and 1. So it's a little bit better than the fiber armor. So yeah. And then the next one, which in my opinion is my favorite, mainly because it resembles a ninja the most, in my opinion, but that's just me. Maybe. So yeah, so that's what that looks like. Even more of a better looking kilt, not as raggedy looking and stuff. And you've got the full, like, well, half sleeve or whatever on one side for your arm and stuff. So I think that looks pretty cool. And then, so the armor value on that is 13, and then knockback defense is 6, 22 and 10. Then we got 6 and 3, 16 and 7, and 6 and 3. So those are the armor values for that. Now this next armor is originally green like this because it's a reptile kind of a theme, if you couldn't tell that. This armor, you can only obtain the recipe for this by doing the dungeon on the map. Again, if they're up in the corner here, I will put in another card for that video as well. I made another video that explains how to get in there and what's inside. It's a long video, so set some time aside for that. So yeah, and then so yeah, that's a whole nother thing I'll get into. So let me get on some other armor. So this armor's got this is the best armor in the game. Kind of a Viking barbarian kind of a look there. You got the full armor, metal arm and stuff like that. Got a actual proper kilt and everything like that. So yeah, so that covers all the. Oh wait, gotta look at the stats real quick. So 17 and 11, 30, 19, 9 and 5, 22 and 13, 9 and 5. So those are the points for that. So yeah, the next thing we're gonna move on to are the shields, and I will be right back when I get that organized a little bit better than what I've got currently. So I'll be right back. And I am back now, and we're going to go over the shields. I had to organize a few things, drop a few things, and stuff like that to make it a little more prettier. Anyway, so this is the basic wooden shield. This is the first kind of shield that you can make in the game. And its numbers, it takes away, I believe, I'm not sure exactly how the armor penetration works, but the health damage is how much damage you can deflect. So 23 points of damage is deflected with your shield on a wooden shield. And then, now you can just make that free willy-nilly once you've learned the recipe. But the wooden targe has to be, and I think every shield afterwards, has to be made in the armorer's bench for whatever reason. I mean, it makes sense, but anyway, so the wooden targe, let me show you what that looks like. It's got a kind of a nice pattern on it, and we've got the ring around it and everything, and the iron inlaid on that. But anyway, so that deflects 29 damage, a little bit more damage, and the armor penetration on that is 27. Then we have the iron targe. I believe that's, yeah, iron targe. It's kind of a cool metal shield. It's personally my favorite. And it deflects 42 damage. So that does quite a bit more of a health deflection on that armor, on that shield or whatever. And then same amount of armor penetration on that. And then this is the steel heater shield. Does 60 damage. So again, quite a bit of a jump there in points deflected there. Same amount of armor penetration. And that looks like that. Very medieval-esque kind of looking right there. The next one, which is the best one in the game. Actually, I'm going to do this one first. This isn't in any particular order exactly. Well, except for these first 4 or 5. Anyway, so this one right here's got 29 and 27. As far as I know, the Stygian shield can only be made if you find a Stygian armorer, tier 3 armorer. And speaking of armorers, if you're not sure what that is, again, hit the little eye up here. I'll put a card down there for my Thrall video that I just made in the last few days here. But yeah, so that armor is the only way that you can make that particular shield. Then you've got this one, which is the best shield in the game. It is health damage of 82%, or 82, deflected with a 30% armor penetration. Whatever that means, I'm not sure. But I'm sure you can figure it out. So yeah, so those are all the shields right there that you can make in the game. I think there are a few others that there are ways to make them. I'm not entirely sure how yet, but anyway, so yeah, so let me cut scenes right about now. Alright guys, I am back and I am here with the projectile weapons and ammo in my inventory. Right here I'm holding the very basic bow. Let me look at the numbers on that. So it does a health damage of 23, armor penetration of 9. It's the very first bow that you can make. The next projectile weapon, it can also be used as a melee weapon, but that is the javelin. So you can throw that, you can stab, or you can, I think if you throw it, and hold it like that. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's how you throw it. So you hold down the left click, which holds it up, switches positions, and then you right click as you're holding down the left click to actually throw that. So that was the javelin, and it's gone forever. I should have looked at the numbers on that. Let me spawn in one more. Hold on. Javelin. I may have missed it. Oh, there it is, javelin. Okay, the numbers on a javelin are as thus. A health damage of 54, armor penetration of 18. That's pretty good, in my opinion. The next item on the list is the crossbow, the first crossbow of the game. I don't know why I'm... There we go. So you got the crossbow. It's kind of glitched right now, thinking I'm holding a melee weapon. But, yeah. So that's the crossbow. And that does 29 damage and 36% armor penetration, which I think is better, in my opinion. And then the next thing is the... Yep, is the throwing axe, which I again forgot to look at the numbers again. Throwing axe, there we go. So the numbers for a throwing axe are 68 damage and 4 armor penetration, which is a pretty good amount of damage per thing, and if you're pretty accurate with that, that can do a lot of damage. The next one is a Hyrcanian bow, which is a pretty cool looking bow, and that does 54 damage, armor penetration of 9%. And that was what comes next. Then the heavy crossbow, which does, there we go, 55 damage, 36% armor penetration. And then finally, the last one is the ancient bow, which is the best bow in the game, and probably the best in the game at all, really. It kind of probably jumps back between the crossbow and the ancient bow. Crossbow probably shoots slower, but you get more armor penetration. You shoot faster with this, and you do more damage as far as initial damage rather than the armor penetration and everything else like that. So, now here in my inventory, you've probably seen this a couple times by now, are the different kind of projectiles that you can fire with these different weapons. Obviously, you have your bolts for your crossbows. You got flint head, iron head, razor bolts, fire bolts, and abysmal bolts. I have no idea how to get the abysmal bolts, but they're yeah. So those are different kind of bolts. I don't have enough ammo, and no matter how many I put in here, it doesn't register that I have ammo for whatever reason. So I will not show you those, unfortunately. Now, the fire arrows and fire bolts are primarily used with explosives. You shoot them and they explode, obviously. So, and then razor bolts, I'd imagine might have like just have a bigger amount of damage. Yeah, so they do an additional 63 damage, 22% armor penetration. They all do 22 armor penetration, but with varying degrees of damage along the way. So it looks like razor bolts are the higher damaging ones, and the same thing with the razor arrows, the same amount of damage across the board. So yeah, and this goes back to what I said earlier. It depends on how fast you want to shoot it and how much damage you want to do with each shot, because you kind of make that trade-off with a crossbow and a bow. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it was nice and helpful for you. And if you liked the video, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I will get you PC content every single day. This is today's video. I'm super stoked for tomorrow's video, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. I'm downloading it currently, and I am so excited for it. So be sure to be on the lookout for that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm Dig Films. I'm always hoping you guys are having a good day. Peace out.